loves, welcome back to my channel. Lynette here, and today, as you can see in the title, I am excited. We're going to be talking about ways to boost our baby's health, and we all know this season everybody's concerned about that. I have people all the time messaging me on different ways they can help to boost their baby, whether it's herbs or just diet and all kind of advice of that nature. So I made this video in efforts to pretty much just try to share my experiences and some of the little hacks that I have done and some of the things that I really had come into knowledge in regards to boosting my baby's health. Okay, everybody know I call my grandbaby my baby, but he's my baby. I love him so much. But anyway, yeah, I've learned a lot of techniques over time, and I learned from things that I have stopped, and I realized those were very, very, very important in keeping nutrition high and keeping the health pretty much wellness level pretty high. And so one of the first things I want to talk about or get into is this particular is food item. Well, before we get into that, I want to talk about one thing that I've noticed, and I did some research on. Matter of fact, I did this research a long time ago. So, but it all came back recently over the years when I'm experiencing runny nose, and when the baby's getting runny nose. Pretty much, I started learning from the things that I have stopped doing. I had to kind of think about, okay, what happened and how did it happen? When did we get this? What did we stop doing before? Because at first, my baby had optimal health until he entered into daycare, and that's when all heck, pretty much everything just hit the fan. It's just like, you have kids coming and going, and it was like a very like public daycare where they have a number of walk-ins too. And so I'm telling, when I say runny noses here, ear infection there, this and that, rashes, I mean everything, okay? And yeah, and so I had to go through that. But one thing I learned, and this is not even just for babies, this is for adults too. There is a master antioxidant that we all have, that our bodies depend on for our health, is glutathione. And pretty much everything trickles, from my understanding, from what the scientists are saying, everything trickles from there. And so glutathione is your body's, from what I read from the scientists, is your body's master antioxidant. And when your glutathione is high, then you pretty much are healthy. Glutathione, pretty much, it according to the scientists, it knocks out the SARS. And a lot of people talk about some kind of dust, nano dust, or whatever the dust is. But according to science, they all talk about how glutathione is very, very effective. If you have high glutathione, is very effective at attacking even that dust. It just excretes that stuff out of your body. So basically, you want to get all kinds of foods that, number one, foods that are high in glutathione. And before I get into that, my first thing would be to, breastfeed. If you're a mother and you can breastfeed, that's the best thing you can do for your baby, until they get to toddler age, or whenever you want to stop, basically. But breastfeeding is number one. And so everything that all the advice that I'm giving you in regards to your baby, you should be doing, because we're going to talk about foods that are high in glutathione. And basically, that really changed my perspective on how I approached interventions, such as herbal interventions, even with myself. And I found that once that clicked into my head, everything will fall into place, and you will see less runny noses, less this, less that, you know. And so yeah, and so one of the first things that I notice is that when I stop giving my baby Kamut, if you look into Kamut, it's high in selenium, and selenium is one of those things that helps produce, encourages the glutathione levels in the body to increase. And so that Kamut, I had been, like I said, giving my baby that Kamut pretty early on, you know, because he was acting like he wasn't. He was still hungry during the night, so I would add just a little bit, you know, of the Kamut cereal. And if you all haven't seen that video, I do a video on baby cereal, and then the grits that are but better than grits. That's also how you grind and process the Kamut. It tastes just like grits, but you can also make it more watery and put it in your baby's bottle. But I did notice one thing that I noticed about the Kamut is that when my grandbaby, my baby, was eating that Kamut, when I was putting it in his bottle every day, I did it every bottle. He didn't have not even a runny nose, not even a runny nose. Never had a cough or any of that until we entered into daycare. But another thing about that, I noticed soon after I stopped putting that in his bottle, that's when all of the stuff start coming in, because I figured, well, he could eat it now. I would make it for his breakfast, but then he got to a point where he just didn't want it. You know, I guess he figured, hey, I've been eating this Kamut since I was a baby, and yeah, I'm tired of Kamut, okay? And so I stopped feeding the Kamut. I started transitioning into like just pureeing, you know, baby food and things of that nature. And believe me, I can tell a big difference. I didn't notice it then, and I just, you know, kind of thought, well, he has to build up this immunity because he's in daycare, which that is true too. But it was a big difference in his health prior to when he was taking that Kamut every day. So when I tell you that Kamut cereal is a beneficial must-have in your cabinets for your baby, get that Kamut. You can get it online fairly cheaply. I mean, they have a few companies that sell that, and you can grind it up, get you a coffee grinder, grind it up, and you know, you can grind a lot up, and then when you're ready, it's ready to go ahead and be used, and you just make it just like grits. But like I said, I have a video on how to process that. So that's number one, Kamut cereal, fine foods that will boost the glutathione levels, and you will notice, definitely notice, a big increase in your baby's health. You'll notice less runny noses, less fevers, less all of that coughing. And if you're worried about the big C, believe me, you'll notice less of that. Next, we're going to talk about some of the foods that, according to DrAxe.com, talks about foods that are high in glutathione. When you roll down, let's look. Okay. So he says first, foods that are good. And if you look at this list, talks about arugula, collard greens, kale, mustard greens, turnip greens, watercress. All of these things to me are, you know, pretty much Dr. Sebi's high electric food list. So if you pretty much try to stick with feeding your baby a lot of those electric foods, a lot of those are going to be high in glutathione. And then it goes down and say foods that are high in folate, and you have your garbanzo beans, avocados, and then and all of that good stuff. So basically those are all on Dr. Sebi's list. Of course, boy, they have some meats on here too, but I do give my baby chicken because they're in the growing stage. I believe that they need to eat meat. Also eggs also is high in glutathione. They have spinach, And then, like I said, the selenium. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is they talk about is herbs. And a lot of people ask me about herbs. And, my answer to is herbs good for babies? I think herbs are good for everyone because, the Bible says that the Lord Almighty made herbs for our healing. And I believe that it's for this physical body that we have when we're, we might get toxins in or things that are not supposed to be in there due to processing and via other things that, pollutants that we come in contact with, whether it's in our water or whatever. Those are things that can help flush us out. I believe that it's natural. It comes from the earth. It's not a chemical. So a lot of us, we will trust the chemicals more than we trust nature, which we're made out of minerals. I believe that minerals is what's going to restore us. With that being said, someone that has never used herbs before or not into herbal medicine, my answer to them would be, don't do anything. I don't believe anyone that doesn't know anything about herbs should be giving their baby herbs. I feel like that could be very dangerous, especially if you don't know which herbs to give, how much, the quantities. You'll probably tend to do too much, a little too much. If you're not used to herbs, I feel like people that, that are been taking herbs for years, they know a little bit about herbs, then yes, I would say that, you're probably at a mindset where you kind of know which herbs to steer clear of, because there's certain herbs that can, that are pretty strong that you really need to be cautious, especially when it comes to babies. I would say just go to the doctor. I would always say to, ask your doctor. You should always consult a doctor when you're dealing with babies, just because they are so precious. And, you don't want to do anything that would, hurt your baby or cause any harm to the baby, because what's good for us sometimes would be too much for a baby. Now, there are herbs that wash out, and as you can see, with that being said, you can see all over the counters, they're giving the babies, different herbs. They're starting to pull in chamomile and elderberry. And to me, that would clue in maybe a mom that is not so herb savvy, pretty much, to be like, okay, well, they're giving these herbs must be safe, which is elderberry. Elderberry to me is a wonderful herb for not only babies but children. It helps with runny noses and colds and coughs. Chamomile is good for babies that maybe don't want to go to sleep. You can give them chamomile. It's going to just flush right out. If they need having problems with sleeping at night, chamomile is a good herb to help to sleep. But there's another herb that I found that black seed is usually not one of those extreme toxic herbs. I won't say toxic because I don't think that's the wrong word to use. I'll just say strong herb. Black seed. It's a pretty, I've been taking black seed for years, never had a side effect, never had an issue with any of my family taking it. Same way with elderberry, same way with burdock root. It's one of those mild sarsaparilla. It's good for a lot of colds and viruses. But the main herb, if you don't have anything else in your cabinet, and this is for you, your whole family, I'm saying, is milk thistle. Milk thistle is one of these herbs that I used in the past, but I just had to bring it on back for some reason. Just like on here, DrAxe.com said that milk thistle is a powerhouse pretty much. It's a herb that helps with glutathione levels. And you know what? It's like right after I started taking this again, it's just like my body was just like, You know, I felt that same, because what happens when you get all of these toxins in your body from the air, and I don't know if it's from SARS or what, this dust that they're talking about, it starts to make you feel kind of sluggish a little bit. You know, it can really take your strength. When people have big C, you see them, they go to the hospital, I mean, you cough and mucus and all of that. But what I've learned with this milk thistle, after taking it again, I've took it before in the past, but now how strong, but not like a how effective, I'll put it like that, because it's a herb that kind of just flushes out. I've never had any side effects with milk thistle, and most of them says there's no side effects. So to me, just sprinkle a little here, a little there. You can't, you know, milk thistle is one of the herbs, in my opinion, and I'm not a doctor, that is an herb that would be, you know, beneficial for your whole family, basically. Other ways to boost your baby's health, of course, keep them clean, bathe them, try to keep your environment clean, but most of all, stay away from toxic cleaners. I feel like now aerosols, I wouldn't spray too many aerosols. Aerosols now tend to have a lot in them, and that can get into your lungs, and that can really start getting nasty. Try to do foods that are organic, even though we don't know where the organic is coming from. I believe from just experience that they are, the way my body feels is a lot better than when I'm eating things that are not organic. And again, electric foods and foods that are high in glutathione, and herbs that promote high glutathione levels. Okay, so that would be all of the herbs that I would suggest, that I've never had any reaction from that, but the main one would be to milk thistle, because milk thistle is pretty much, it's going to boost that glutathione. It's going to keep your baby or your you know, toddler, and I don't say a lot, I mean, I wouldn't do more than the pinch here, like I said, and a pinch there, just to give a little boost, you know. And but as I say, always say, consult your doctor and see if that's okay. And I'm going to end that here, I think. Okay, so with that, I think we did enough. I think we're going to wrap it up. Those are baby hacks for this season to keep your baby healthy. Just try some of these and let me know what you think in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. These are tried and true for me, and like I said, it's just a learning game, and we're just going to keep learning. Please share if you have any other baby boosting, health boosting experiences, or herbs or foods that you tried that's really helped your baby flourish during this season. Let me know. Please leave that in the comment section. I would love to hear. I would love to hear from you. Anyway, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Remember that I do this for you. Remember that you are beautiful, and I love you.